In this week's silliness, we reached the top of the Lancaster Canal. I tried to read a sign without my bins on, and this week we asked the question, would if they'll let me have a go in that? Then, and welcome to the video. As always, I'd like to say a big thank you to all you likers, watchers and subscribers, because without you, well, I'd just be talking to myself, wouldn't I? We've had plenty of comments this week, one especially from Carol and her hubby. They are on Narrowboat Liberty, moored in Garstang, and we passed by them. We did slow down for them as we were going up through on our big trip towards Tewitfield. So, hello Carol and hubby. And Wayne, he's on his way up to Tewitfield this weekend, and unfortunately we've moved down to Lancaster. So we're going to miss each other again, and I believe it was his round. It's just typical, that, isn't it? In other news this week, the reason why we came down to Lancaster was I had to tow a boat from the White Cross pub in Lancaster down to Golgate Marina. The engine had blown, and John, who's the engineer, said, if you're in the area, could you give him a lift? And I thought, well, why not? I'll give him a lift. Anyway, turns out it's someone I used to work for, oh, must be 25 years ago. Terry Moffat. They have a little GRP cruiser called Teal, and had an enjoyable afternoon, towing her back and a few beers afterwards. It was good to catch up with him. But on that journey, what happened was, just before I got into Lancaster, there's a tree that overhangs, and you guessed it, it took my chimney cowl off. So I put an emergency appeal out on Facebook, on the Lancaster Canal users group, and one of our viewers, Ian, he actually said, I've got a spare one, pop down. So I popped down to pick it up, and it's a stainless steel one. I didn't have any cash on me at the time, so I said to Ian, give us your address and I'll send you a cheque in the post. It's got a bit cold. A slight fire. So a big thank you to you, Ian. Thank you very much for your generosity. Your cheque is in the post. And just one last thing, I was stopped in the street by a kind gentleman who asked me if that was my ghost that took a dip in the canal. Thank you very much, that was a very hurtful thing to say. If you've got out to say, if you've got any questions or even a suggestion for something we can do on this channel, why not put it in the comment box wherever YouTube's put it this week, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Well, after all of last week's excitement, we'd finally managed to reach Tewitfield, the top of the Lanky. And saying that, we can go no further on the narrowboat, but we can walk. Oh, the joys. Yes, we're entering territory where even Lancaster people are classed as southerners. We're going up the northern reaches, the Tewitfield Locks. Let's have a look at where we went. There we are then. The pointy screwdriver pencil is at the ready, as per usual. Now today's journey is going to take us from here right at the end of the navigable Lancaster Canal, and it's going to take us up and round this section, the Tewitfield Locks. A flight of 8 locks that's landlocked. There's a culvert that side and a culvert at the other side as well. It's been like that since they did the M6. Now the locks were built, well, they begun around about 1817, finished around about 1819, and they connected the Lancaster Canal to the Kendal stretch of the canal. It's now known as the Northern Reaches. The locks were closed in 1942 and the weirs were constructed at the northern end of each lock to keep the flow of water going into the Lancaster Canal. 1968, the building of the M6 motorway finally cut these locks off from both the Lanky and the Kendal stretches of the canal. The flight of locks in this stretch of the canal is around about 3/4 of a kilometre, which is approximately 0.4660284 of a mile, carrying you up 85 feet or approximately 25.908 metres. There's 8 double locks, and the locks used to ferry mostly coal and limestone up and down till 1942 when it closed. In the not too distant future, we're hoping that this section will be reopened to traffic, with many plans coming to fruition as we speak. If you want more info, I'll put some links in the description box below and you can check them out. Any road, best crack on. Hello mate. Hello Tango. And that is the farthest you can go on the Lancaster Canal by narrowboat. This is the end of the canal, and just down to your left is a path which takes you to the other side of a bridge. That's the M6. And we're moored just there. Well, here's the other side of the bridge. And that's the other bit of the canal. So, and there is the bottom lock of the Tewitfield flight. There you go, press pause, even zoom in a bit. Press pause if you want to read this. Just here we've got the old paddle gears. We'll stand for it there. Little bridge, still a lock 1 here. And just in the distance there is lock 2. So you can see they just kind of did a concrete plinth, capped it with a bit of metal, and that's what feeds the Lancaster Canal. Again, all the paddle gears mostly here. There's the sill there. These are all double locks by the looks of things. There's the old gears. There's lock number 3 in the distance. Over there behind the waffy hand is the bywash, and we'll just keep on going up the flight. There's 8 locks in this flight, and there's some very interesting news regarding that. This whole lock system actually is going to get reopened in the future. Hopefully we'll see it in my lifetime, but plans are looking good. This is lock number 3, and you can see over there, that's where the pockets are for the lock gates when they open up. I must say, even though this hasn't been used in many years as a lock, probably I think it's the 60s, it's still in remarkably good order. Although I think when they do bring this back to life, that far sill there might need a bit of repair. The M6 is just over there, and Tewitfield Locks follow the line of the M6 for their entirety actually, and there doesn't seem to be too much distance between the locks. Used to bring a lot of coal and lime down these locks back in the days. This is lock number 4. As you can see, it's a little bit overgrown on that side. It seems the further we get up, the more trees we had. If you want a little bit of modern technology, there's a big windmill just over there. The distance is another bridge. Not sure what it's used for. We'll go and find out. There we are. Bridge 140 at lock 5. There's lock number 6 in the distance, and even though this canal hasn't been used in many years, it still looks fairly clear. It's a bit shallow, but the whole canal's shallow at the moment. Lock 7 up ahead. Lock 7. Not too bad this one, not too overgrown. And there's lock 8. This is lock number 8, the final lock. Here we have a relatively rare appearance apparently on the canal system, a weed whacker. I'm assuming that's going to be put in there at some point to dispose of all the, well, smash up all the weeds, collect them up, whatever it is they do. Hopefully that'll help with the water levels on the Lanky. Bridge 141. Hope this camera works, not as wobbly as last time. Here we are, this is coming up to the end of the canal. So over there is the end of this section of the canal, and they can't take the canal through the M6 there, so what they're going to do is they're going to lower all this section of canal, and then they can just tunnel through under the M6 and you're through onto the next section. If I go back a bit further that way, you can see the sign for Cumbria, and just on the other side of that is the next bit of canal. I don't even think you can actually get by through to the other side on this part of the canal, but we might be able to see if there is somewhere back that way. Ooh, there you go. That's the sign just about there. And that, just below that, is the next bit of canal. This road off the canal, and there's a bridge here for over the motorway. This is the M6. And that over there, just in the distance, is the other side. And you can see the little sign that says Lancaster Canal just in front of the Welcome to Cumbria sign. There we go, there's the sign there, just to let you know that it's 13 miles to Kendal. And no, I'm not even going to attempt that. I bloody hate walking. So that was our walk up Tewitfield Locks. We've got dinner, we're going to have a picnic, and then we'll walk back down again. I won't bother filming it because if you want to see it going down, just put it in reverse. That's the view we got while we're having our dinner.
Sheep by the lock.
And there's a couple of the old lock gates. Okay, now's the time for us to answer that burning question we asked right at the beginning of this video. I wonder if they'll let me have a go in that.
No.
Well, that clears that up. Now, we've got some exciting news. Well, it is if you like canals. Anyway, we're doing a big trip from Preston at the Ashton Basin all the way up to Tewitfield. We're going to try and attempt to follow in the footsteps of such luminaries as Minimalist and Dave and Louise from Narrowboat Changing Pace. We're going to attempt to do the Silver Propeller Challenge. Here's a sneaky peek. Oh, they're a pretty pair. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you click that little bell icon, YouTube will mind you next time we release one. Well, that's everything on my list. I reckon we'll call it a draw for this one. Till next time.